this has been the matchup for you. The Nationals and Cubs have volleyed wins in each of their first 6 meetings this season, with more big moments coming in each game. The season series wraps up today, so be sure and dive in. Capture the moment. Yeah, now it's time to capture a series and a season series. Nats looking for the split on the weekend. Fowler and Harper. Bryce looks pretty focused, if you ask me, on Game 4 of this series. Each team in this series has won 2 out of 3 in the other's ballpark so far. That tells you something about the intensity with which these 6 games have been played.
I'm kind of sad that this is the last game today between these 2 teams. The series has been outstanding so far, going toe-to-toe. And I think if the Cubs make a few tweaks here or there, they're going to be playing in October. I think they're one of the best teams the Nats have played this year.
All right, well, let's look at some of the numbers from the series. The wins are even. The runs aren't that far apart. The hits are almost even. And the ERA's not that far apart. The Nats have pitched better. And either a save or a walk-off hit decides every game of this 6-game series so far. So it's Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs and Jordan Zimmerman. They know each other a little bit, matched up in Chicago last week, and both did quite well.
Now, Kyle Hendricks, a Doug Fister clone. The delivery, the stuff, everything about him. He's very thorough as a pitcher. And Jordan Zimmerman coming off one of his best starts of the year. 8 shutout innings against the Blue Jays last time out, 105 pitches. So a good pitching matchup, and it'll probably end the way this series started. We're looking forward to today's game.
Yeah, Jordan knows the Cubs a couple. He's got a losing record against them. So we've had some hugs. We've had some breeze. We've had Williams and Madden and all the great players involved. Hey, here's the bottom line. If you want to talk about October, each team has won 3 games in this season series. Today, Game 7 at Nationals Park. Enjoy it. Bank for the achiever in you, and by Airlines for America, where airplanes land, opportunity takes off. Sunshiny skies right now, clouds overhead, just gonna kind of be like yesterday. The sun's going to be in and out. Hitting conditions not real pleasant sometimes at this time of the day for hitters, so they're hoping for clouds. 79 degrees, humidity just under 50%. and Game 4 of this series. Mets lost last night. The Nats are still in first place, and time to get the road trip off to a good start with a home win today. Here's Zimmerman.
Okay, last start he used that fastball 62% of the time. The slider 25, the curveball 13. So the slider more than the curveball. In the start before that, he used the curveball more than a slider. It's a field thing. We'll see which one he goes to today. But you see lefties hitting .305 against Jordan Zimmerman this year.
Right on time at 4:05 Eastern time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dexter Fowler's had a good series, 5 for 12. With a run batted in, he has scored 4 runs. Gets under that one, out to right center, and Denard Span is over there for the first out. Cubs are 13th in the league in batting average, 11th in runs, 7th in homers, and Chris Bryant has done some good things against the Nats. In this series, he's 3 for 11, so 3 hits in Chicago. A couple of homers over there, none here. Anthony Rizzo, the big damage doer, though, 6 for 12, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. He's the man who steps in now.
I like your comment in the open about this being Game 7 and this series being tied 3-3. It's been like that. Why not? Let's see who wins the 7-game series here today.
Well, they're just, based on how well they're playing at the time and the mystique of certain ball clubs, when you play them, it just seems like more than a regular season deal. And right now, the Nats and the Cubs feel that way. Kerwin Danley has the plate. Rob Drake, Gabe Morales, and Joe West, the crew chief, over at third base. Zimmerman 3-0 to Rizzo. Anthony 4 for 10 with a solo homer, 1 RBI career against Jordan Zimmerman, who's 1-4 in 8 starts against the Cubs. Delivers 94 for a strike.
15 for 40 in his 11-game hitting streak, 375 average.
He's aboard. That's the 31st time he's walked this year. That'll add to his .446 on base percentage.
Check out the defense for Game 7 of this 7-game series between these two. Taylor, Span, Harper, the outfield. Desmond Escobar, left side. Rendon, Moore, right side. Wilson Ramos behind the plate again. Tyler Moore getting the start at first base.
Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman getting a day off. Ryan only 4 hits in the last 2 weeks, so maybe a refresher for him, plus a day off tomorrow. Yudel Escobar back on the field today.
Passed all his tests before the game. Was out here early taking ground balls, hitting early. The wrist feels good, and Matt Williams was kind of a wait-and-see deal, and he's in there.
Chris Bryant. Wow, that's nasty. The hitter backed away, and the fastball caught the inside edge. 0-2. Bryant 0 for 3 against Zimmerman in the series at Wrigley last week. And then he follows up the tight fastball with a breaking ball low and away. Jordan looking for his 6th win of the year. His all-time Nationals #1 63rd win. If he can do it today. And a 1-2. And they've got the runner. I mean, leaving early or what? Zimmerman throws to Moore. There's another throw. They finally run him back, and Jordan Zimmerman tags him on the 1-3-4-1.
1-3-4-1. All right, let's check it out. Anthony Rizzo with the greatest jump of all times. But it was so good that I think Jordan Zimmerman did a great job. How many times have you seen a pitcher panic in that situation where the guy leaves early, the whole infield screaming, step off, and he balks, goes to the plate? So nice composure right there by Jordan Zimmerman to get Anthony Rizzo, who just left that hair early.
And a 1-2. Looked like he was trying to win the race the day after the Belmont right there.
Oh, he's a Triple Crown threat.
He is. Swing and a miss, so it's almost like a tag him out, strike him out, double play. 3 hitters for Zimmerman. The Nats go to work now against Kyle Hendricks. expensive ball game 2 nights ago. Then again, quiet yesterday with 2 solo homers. Nationals in the top 4 in home runs, 5th in runs total, and 9th in batting average. So Bryce now against the Cubs in this series, 3 for 9, 6 for 19 overall, plenty of damage, 5 extra base hits, 4 RBIs. He had a homer against today's starting pitcher, Kyle Hendricks.
I was looking at Miguel Montero's throw. It hit the dirt. Let's see if they check the baseball before Denard Span gets up to the plate. Kyle Hendricks, a lot like Doug Fister. We talked about it last time out when he pitched against the Nats in Chicago. His last start on the second against Miami, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 97 pitches, 62 of those for strikes. So he'll go fastball, cutter, curveball, change. Change probably his best secondary pitch. He's a guy that has to live on the corners. He'll cut the fastball, sink the fastball, and he'll elevate it with 2 strikes.
They did throw the ball out, by the way.
Did they? Thanks, Evan.
It was before Denard got even close to the plate, so Kerwin Danley must have seen that.
Well, you have to watch that as a hitter, the throw down to second base if you're leading off an inning. If a ball skips in the dirt to the middle infielder, you always ask to check the ball because there's going to be a bigger scuff in it off of that than a pitch maybe.
0-1 to Denard, who's had a rough series, 2 for 13. 1 RBI, a base on balls, and his batting average down to 292. Now, nothing wrong with 292. That's 6 points higher than his career average, but Denard was way up there over 300 with Escobar for a while.
I'm telling you, if you have a sore knee, it affects your hitting.
Yeah,
it's your base. Especially a guy like Span who's on his legs so much. And if you're at home wondering, well, why doesn't he adjust, FP? Why doesn't he stand straight up? Well, that's how he hits. You really can't change your style based on an injury. If you start doing that, you're messing with disaster. So that patella tendonitis might be affecting a lot of things.
Denard 1 for 3 against Hendricks last week. And that's a straight change. It's way outside, 1-2. Mets just got a run in the first inning at Arizona, so that game running concurrently with ours here. 1-2, big gap in right center. So you know they're pitching away. And Denard just able to get a piece of that one. This is one of those days. I got out of my car this morning and it said it was 72 degrees. It felt like it was 85. The air's just got that feel, and the ball with a little breeze going out toward left could be really traveling today.
Did you just come straight from the gala?
No.
You didn't?
No. Not like you and Dan. I went home for a while. And Denard can't reach it, so not exactly pounding him away, but flipping changeups out there.
So the defense for the Cubs behind Kyle Hendricks, Coughlin, Fowler, Denorfia, the outfield, Castro, Bryant left side, Herrera, Rizzo right side, and Miguel Montero behind the plate. Dexter Fowler having a nice series in the leadoff spot for the Cubs. Couple of hits, couple of runs yesterday.
He was good in Colorado. He was good for a short time in Houston, and kind of one of the senior members of the Chicago team right now. And they got Chris Denorfia back off the DL today. He's been on there twice with a bad hamstring. Good to see Yunel Escobar, as mentioned, back on the field. 1 at bat Thursday night, and he has missed the rest of the series till now. A little bit outside, 1-1. Looks like Hendricks and Montero's game plan. Everybody away here.
It's dirty already. Trying to figure that out.
I know. There were no plays at third base in the top of the first. Now there's a great adjustment by Escobar. Pitch him that way. He takes it that way. That'll add to his .316 batting average, 9th in the National League.
Well, there goes the no-hitter. And there is a professional hitter, Yunel Escobar. I mean, just you talk about a guy tailor-made for hitting second in any batting order. And I was just about to say his success greatly depends on Denard Span getting on. He likes to use that hole over there. But he can hit that hole even if Denard Span's not on. Example right there. First knock of the day for the Nats.
Well, here's Bryce. He was 1 for 3 with a homer to left against Hendricks in that game at Wrigley. Yeah, guess what? Outside. Bryce has been on base 6 times in this series. Checks in with the highest on base percentage in all of baseball at .472. How high is that number? Consider that Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers is at .430. Here's that homer last week.
May 26, pop up to left, just missed it, darn it. Hendricks looking at it. That's a routine fly ball. Wind blowing out. Tater.
Yeah, Bryce hardly knew what to say when he got back to the dugout.
He looked like a kid that got away with something.
Exactly.
Almost like he felt guilty that it went out.
Yeah.
I'm sure that ended quickly.
Well, you got to get a couple of breaks here and there, don't you?
Yeah.
He's had his share of being robbed.
Big fly is a big fly is a big fly.
That's right.
They don't pay you more if it's 20 rows back or 30 rows back or 460 feet. I think that's the one thing Bryce has learned this year, not lunging at the baseball. They don't all have to be tape measure jobs. He can smooth them out of here just as well.
That was 80 as the ball kept diving away from him. So Hendricks pretty much showing the entire repertoire right here from the start. He gashes one, caught by Herrera. And Escobar able to plant and get back to the bag. Wow, that ball was hit hard. Bryce still staring at him.
Well, I asked the truck for the hit speed on it, and it takes a minute. But I think it's safe to say this might be the highest hit speed he's had this year. I'm going to guess about 110 on that, just going out on a limb. That ball was roasted. And if you ask Jonathan Herrera right now, I guarantee his hand's hurting. Can't hit a ball any harder than that. Good read by Escobar to get back.
Anthony Rendon in the cleanup spot again. 3 for 11 with a double and a walk in this series.
Time. When people ask me about Bryce Harper's BP, and he hasn't been on the field for a while, they always want to talk about how far he hits the ball. I always say, watch the low line drives in the infield. They're the hardest I've ever seen of any hitter ever. When he hits a low liner in batting practice, 108, I was 2 off. I overbid, so I lose both showcases.
Escobar, he got back. Just make sure there's a tag over there, guys, and we'll all be happy.
Bob, you need to turn the page on that. That was like 6 days ago.
FP, that was game 4 of this World Series.
I love that we're making this like a series. I love that. It had the feel. Yeah. I mean, you wish you could. If this was played in October, these 6 games these guys have played, people would be saying this is the greatest NLCS or
whatever
we've ever seen.
Yeah. 2-0 pitch. Rendon pulls it, shortstop hole, and getting the job done is Starlin Castro. So the Nats put some good swings on Hendricks in the first inning. No score. Sunday afternoon, a little late in the day. 6 for the Cubs in the top of the second. STG takes us inside numbers. So here we go. Game 1, Chicago Nats 2-1. Cubs equalize the next evening. Scherzer the shutout 3-0. The heartbreaker Thursday, the offensive explosion Friday, and then the tough one yesterday thanks to Jason Hamill. Quite a series.
The Cubs are 29-25, 1/3 of the way through this year. That's their best third of the way mark since 2008 when they were 33-21. Last year at this time, the Cubs were 20-34. Pretty big turnaround for Joe Maddon's squad in 1 year.
So a pace of 87 wins. And if they learn how to win more of the one-run games, who knows where they can go.
Well, that'll happen because they have a lot of young guys learning on the fly.
Second inning underway with a strike to Miguel Montero. His one hit, the long home run against Tanner Roark. But the Nats won that game Friday night. And Zimmerman gets in on the trademark in a foul ball. 0-2.
Fastball's jumping late. You can tell by the Cubs swings. They're having trouble getting to it. Yeah, he's liking his fastball. He just shook off a slider to go with a high fastball. And that'll tell you how he's feeling about the way it's coming out of his hand. What do we got here? Let's see. Fastball in? No. Curveball.
Stays up and away. First inning, 13 pitches, 7 strikes. The pickoff of Rizzo.
Fastball in.
Hastened things. Locked him up. On the check swing, a foul tip, and Montero gone 2 Ks in a row.
Well, yesterday the Major League debut of Joe Ross, and we liked what we saw. The stuff definitely played, and he's going to get better as he goes, but more so than the stuff, the way he handled himself on the mound, the way he attacked the strike zone with all of his pitches, threw strikes when he wanted to, threw balls when he wanted to, which I think is just as important, and the body language and just kind of the eye test of acting like he belonged at this level. He was outstanding yesterday.
4 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. He made the Cubs earn what they got. Chris Coghlan on a 1-0 pitch fouls it out of play. Another big crowd today. The first 3 games of this series have drawn right around 100,000. So we'll be up around 135 or so by the time we tabulate it all later. Been a great weekend. A lot of Cubs fans in town. And the count's 1-2.
Cubs fans are awesome, by the way. I mean, they just truly enjoy baseball for baseball's sake. They're not obnoxious like some other squads fans. They're just happy. I mean, they're all just happy. They're not about you guys stink and we're better. They enjoy themselves, and they're very polite. They're very outgoing. I'm loving the ears.
And a 1-2. That ball, trouble. Tailing to the corner, and it'll one-hop the wall. Michael A. Taylor picks it up. Coghlan easily into second, and the Cubs have their first base hit. His second hit of this series.
Pretty good swing right here by Chris Coghlan, and perfect pitch by Zimmerman right where he wanted it, and Coghlan just beats a good pitch, and it tails away from Michael A. Taylor the whole way, and it got so much airtime off the fence. If that would have bounced right to Taylor, might have had to play at second. Ball hung up, and a 1-out double for the Cubs left fielder.
Here's Starlin Castro. Coghlan the second most at bats against Zimmerman of any Cub, now 20 with 5 hits. Castro against Jordan 4 for 22. He's been in the big league since 5 weeks into the 2010 season. Zimmerman delivers it in there at 94. 0-2.
You know what you really can't see on TV is the lower half of Jordan Zimmerman. Joe Siddle is the radio announcer for the Blue Jays, good friend of mine, former teammate with the Expos, and he was just in town, and he was watching Jordan hit the other day. He said he didn't realize how strong his legs are, and that's where he gets his power from, the lower half and the push on those tree trunks. And I'm telling you, if you ever see him in person, he just, you think of all the pitchers like Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan, guys that had that late life on their fastball. It comes from the lower half, and I just don't think TV does it justice on how strong his legs are and how thick he is down low. That's the power source. That's a power plant.
1 ball and 2 strikes. That'll be out of play.
And I know all my friends, whenever they meet us on the road and they're down on the field and they see these guys in person, they're always shocked, either team, how big everybody is.
Yeah. Baseball players are a lot bigger than they used to be.
They don't realize until you're like down there on the field with them, how big and strong most of them are.
One ball and 2 strikes. Starlin Castro, 6 foot 190, which used to be huge for a shortstop.
Cal changed all that.
Yes, he did. Zimmerman jams him, and that's going to drive in a run. Hit softly enough into the outfield. Taylor, no chance for a throw, and the Cubs draw first blood here in Game 7 of this season series.
Pretty good pitch, maybe just a hair elevated, and that allowed Castro to throw it over the infield for a single. Got his hands inside of it. Bat tie to hero. 1-0 Cubs. Easy read for Coughlin with 1 out based on the fact that it was a broken bat. He knew it was going to drop. Broke right away.
Next up is Chris Denorfia, who at the age of 34, with a birthday next month, has been a solid guy in the big leagues for the last several years. He spent the last 5 years with the Padres, early career with Cincinnati, had Tommy John surgery back in 07, didn't play for a couple of years, and then resurfaced with Oakland.
Percentage of position players that have Tommy John surgery go.
Yeah.
I'm going to say what, less than.
It's got to be 1, 2 or 3 out of 100 at the most, right?
Yeah.
You hardly ever hear about it. Tries to guide it over there, and it's foul. He actually went to a small Division III school in Massachusetts called Wheaton College, where he was an All-American way back in 02. Reds originally drafted him from Bristol, Connecticut, and he's been on the DL twice this year with a left hamstring, just reactivated today. So the target's in. Jordan wants the ball down and in, and that ball fouled at 93.
Matt Wieters had Tommy John surgery. He's back with the O's.
Took him every bit as long as it did a pitcher to come back, really. Base hit on an 0-2 pitch. Jordan having a hard time with the Cubs when he's way ahead. 3 consecutive hits. That'll bring in the pitcher, Hendricks, with Joe Madden, of course, batting his pitcher in the 8th spot.
I think the reason Jordan Zimmerman has become one of the elite pitchers in the National League, and we've talked about it a lot, is he's learned how to throw balls. He's been such a strike thrower, and he's gotten, early on, had so much plate that there would be 1 or 2 pitches a game that would haunt him. he's learned how to throw the ball out of the strike zone, but today he's throwing maybe too many strikes.
Throw in behind the runner, and Desmond had to go over to the right side of the bag to grab it.
We talk about Gio Gonzalez and the uncomfortable at bat. As good as Jordan Zimmerman's stuff is, if you know a guy's going to be in a shoebox kind of strike zone up there, that's a fun at bat for a hitter, because it takes the thinking process out of it. You just see white swing because you know the guy's going to be around the plate.
Bunted right back to the pitcher. Definitely play at third. And Escobar takes care of that from Jordan Zimmerman. Castro, the lead runner, nailed. And now the pitcher has to run the bases.
Like a cat off the mound, watch the athleticism of Jordan Zimmerman. Not a problem. Bad bunt by Kyle Hendricks right back to the pitcher allows Zimmerman to get the lead runner.
So Jonathan Herrera in the number 9 spot today. Addison Russell 0 for 8 in this series. Joe Madden gives him a day off. And Herrera had a bunt base hit and a little flare for an RBI yesterday. He was actually giving Castro a day off with Russell playing short. Up and in, jammed him, and a fly ball for Bryce Harper, approaching the line. Foul ball, and luckily he's the one with the glove that got it. So the damage limited to 1 run. Armaz Dadua, first man, bottom of the second. Wilson Ramos in this series, 3 hits, a homer, 2 RBIs, and the Buffalo's been using the entire ballpark left to right lately.
Of the homestand, they're hoping to go home happy. 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. There's a Virginia Cavalier. Join us for College Rivalry Day on Wednesday, June 24th, celebrating the competition between Virginia and Virginia Tech. I don't think it's on the field. There's actually going to be a baseball game, but with a special ticket purchase, you can receive a Virginia or Virginia Tech themed tailgate chair while supplies last. For details, visit nationals.com/college rivalry. Yeah, that's worded a little weird. I wanted to make sure that people knew there was actually a baseball game going on that day. And wear your colors out to the yard.
All right, Hokies. All right, Wahoos. Let's do it. Wilson Ramos pulled the home run to a part of the park seldom visited. His first time up yesterday, into the teeth of a wind, coming right down Half Street.
I'd like to congratulate my Miami Hurricanes for their first trip to the College World Series since 2008.
Wow.
So since we're talking about college rivalries, I got to pump up the U, because as everybody knows, it's all about the U.
I like it when the NFL guys go.
I just ticked off so many fans with that. I love it.
Well, you guys never have been that well liked. I mean, let's be honest.
Very humble.
No balls, one strike. I made the mistake of going to the Orange Bowl one year rooting for Oklahoma. And when I saw the first quarter of the game, and Miami's defense was faster than anybody Oklahoma had on offense or defense. Yikes.
The late Ron Frazier would be proud.
Yeah, he was some coach. He was one of the guys that really, one of the first guys that really got college baseball noticed. And Starlin Castro still had a chance to get Ramos. That'll be his 14th error of the year. It just looked like a simple play and a not very fast catcher running to first. Maybe he had too much time. I don't know.
Watch this. I mean, there's no need for Castro to field that ball on the run. Yeah, the game's easy up here with makeup on, but when you have a catcher running, you set yourself on that ball and field it conventional style. Usually as a shortstop, when you field off the left and throw off the right on the run, it's because of the speed of the runner. You have to hurry. Wilson Ramos was running right there, and if you realize the speed of the runner, you chop your steps, you set yourself, you stand up and make a strong throw across, and you still have them by 5 steps.
Yeah.
The error was in the thinking process of how to field that ball, not the error itself.
He has 14 of the Cubs' 46 errors. Only Milwaukee has made more. But again, and we've talked about this a couple of times, the rest of the Cubs have played like a Gold Glove team against the Nats in these games so far. So here's Ian Desmond. That's a changeup. Hit out to right center. Ball is carrying. See you later. Ian Desmond, he himself supplied all the power for that one. The Nats are on top.
Well, you got to figure based on track record, that being home run number 5, Ian Desmond with back-to-back-to-back 2020 seasons, he's going to have a whale of a second half. If water finds its level, he has a lot of taters coming the rest of this summer.
Well, you know, it is kind of warm today, Ian. You called it. You nailed it on the warm weather, guys.
The warm weather club, 11-3 at 71 degrees and over. I'm just clinging on to that stat all year. I love it. That ball is crushed.
So look for a home game to be called on account of cold here sometime between now and the end of September.
I would.
56 degrees someday.
Sorry, we're not playing.
0-2, Tyler Moore has to protect now. 6th homer given up by Hendricks this year. And Tyler gets a piece of that one, a late breaker. The Nationals with their 59th team home run. Desmond's 5th. And for Ian, the march toward 100 continues. That's 96. Same pitch that Tyler Moore just fouled off, and he struck him out. 2 Ks for Hendricks.
Check out the home run by Ian Desmond. Down and away, going with it. And it looked like that was part of the game plan. You know that Hendricks really isn't going to challenge you in early in the count. Desmond looking away, diving out there. Let the ball get deep in the classic uppercut swing to the part of the ballpark when it's warm, where the ball carries the most. 2-1 Nats.
There is no ceiling on what Ian Desmond can accomplish when he uses the ballpark.
I think there's no ceiling on what Ian Desmond can accomplish if he got into counts more. He would simplify his game so much more. I know that's not his style, but if every once in a while 2-0 or 3-1, you narrow down the process of what's coming, and it's a lot easier to hit that way. Sometimes his aggressive nature, he makes it so tough on himself.
Taylor pops it up, short right field. Coming on is DeNorfia. 2 down, and Jordan Zimmerman will be the hitter.
Yeah, I think a perfect example of that, Carp, it comes to mind is Pablo Sandoval in the postseason. He's a guy that's just a hacker all season long.
But
in the postseason, he works counts. He's 2-0, he's 3-1, and that's when he's at his best. And, you know, he's MVP of the World Series. He's a great October player. And it's hard to tell somebody like Ian to take away his aggressive nature because that's his style. But if he would, the game would be so much simpler for him on a daily basis if he got into some counts every now and then. And I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying it would be so much easier.
Remember where Sandoval's double went against Drew Storen down the left field line.
Yeah.
The crippling blow in that second marathon game here.
Well, I'm just not saying where it hits. I just get into counts.
Yeah.
Get into a 2-0 count every once in a while, and life would be so much easier. Be a 300 hitter with the 20-20 on top of it.
2 balls, 1 strike. Jordan has 3 hits this year. A couple of RBIs. How about 4 hits? So Jordan Zimmerman now 1 for 2 with a sacrifice against Hendricks.
How about tease Mass and Dan's report today? He did a survey with the players on the best hitting pitcher, players and coaches, and maybe a broadcaster too. So we'll get to the results of Dan. I thought it was a wonderful idea by Dan to ask everybody on the ball club who they thought was the best hitting pitcher. Is that a good tease?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, thanks.
So Zimmerman extends the inning. Here's Denard Span. Now remember, first time up, everything was soft, and not only away, but really off the plate. And Denard just couldn't lay off, eventually striking out. Starts him out the same way, and Denard catching the fade on that 88.
So as a hitter, what do? You look out there your second time, and you think about hitting a ball right through the shortstop's chest.
Nats on top, 2-1 on the Desmond home run after the crippling for the Cubs Castro error, making that one hurt immediately. 1-1 to Span now, and Denard still hasn't seen anything anywhere near the inner half of the plate. Couple of runs early, big in this late afternoon scenario with the shadows creeping soon. Span will reach out and pull that ball to Jonathan Herrera. Big inning for the Nationals, though. The Castro error, the Ian Desmond 5th home run of the year, down and away. Then it went up and away over the scoreboard. 2-1 Washington.
mound, but they've also gotten the job done in the batter's box this season. And as FP mentioned last half inning, I took an informal poll of about a dozen players and coaches on this Nationals team, asking them who they think is the best hitting pitcher on this Nationals ball club. Your award winner, Jordan Zimmermann, now has 4 hits on the season. Max Scherzer came in a close second. Scherzer got credit for his short stroke and strong hitting of late, and Doug Fister was given the best swing award by one player, but Zimmermann got the most votes, with a couple guys calling him a natural hitter. One player who I won't name had a great line when I asked him which pitcher he views as the best hitter. He thought about it for a second, he smiled, and he said, whoever gets down the most bunts. So I guess Gio wins in that department for that player. But Jordan, Max, Doug, Steven Strasburg won a Silver Slugger. This is a very talented rotation in terms of swinging the bat as well, guys.
But if you look over the years, Jordan Zimmermann has been the best bunter as well, with 39 career sacks. Well done, Dan.
That was nice. I like it.
Curveball low, 3rd inning underway. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Dan Kolko with our Coons.com sideline report.
And I hope the pitchers don't take this the wrong way, but they're baseball players that happen to pitch. They're grinders. When you talk about Jordan's at-bats, Doug Fister, Max Scherzer, Tanner Roark, they're baseball players. I mean, how many teams can say they have guys that are dirty every 5th day when they pitch, slide into second base, breaking up double plays? Those guys take it seriously, and they're out here at home practicing every single day before the regulars hit. And I would have voted for Tanner Roark. I know that's off the chart a little bit.
Yeah. I would have voted for Zimmermann because of his track record.
Actually, I did vote for Roark. I was in on it.
That ball, hooking foul. One more thing about Jordan that I love to watch. I love to watch him run the bases. You can see by his gait how he was such a great wide receiver in high school and a point guard on the basketball team.
Yeah.
I mean, he could just do it all. And he's a lot of fun to watch bounce around off the mound and when he's running. 1-2 pitch, and that's upstairs to Dexter Fowler, who hit a fly ball to Denard Span first time up.
My favorite nugget about Jordan Zimmermann is bring your tractor to school day on the calendar.
That's trouble. Bryce Harper over to cut it, and it's arm against speed right here. But Bryce was moving away from the infield, and Dexter Fowler checks in with his 6th hit in this series.
Stayed on that curveball nice. Jordan Zimmermann tried to drop it down and in. And Bryce Harper with a valiant effort. Good hustle down there, but going away from the play, plus Dexter Fowler's speed. An easy leadoff double here in the 3rd for Fowler.
Danny Espinosa usually in the shift position in right field. Today it's Anthony Rendon against Rizzo. And Jordan with a little step off and a look to second with Desmond nearby, freezing the runner. And they get Rizzo on a pop-up. That's big. Fowler staying at second. Michael A. takes it away. And a big first out with Bryant coming on.
But just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time later in today's game. That's brought to you by Miller Lights. You heard the frustration with Anthony Rizzo right there. Not getting Dexter Fowler to 3rd at least.
Chris Bryant struck out swinging first time up. That was right after Rizzo was caught between 1st and 2nd wandering.
Somebody just tweeted me that Clint Robinson's a good hitting pitcher too. And why wasn't he on the list?
1 inning career, and he's up there with the big boys. You gotta get a hit while you're pitching to get on the list, right?
Well, Doug Fister's the only pitcher that has a pinch hit this year, so that's got to count for like 3.
That's impressive. I know some of the old timers are thinking about this because there was an era in this league when pitchers were really good hitters. Ferguson Jenkins of the Cubs could hack. Bob Gibson, Don Drysdale of the Dodgers was a really tough out and had lots of power. Sandy Koufax could not hit a lick. That's a ball in front of the runner, and Desmond just has to pick it up. I think that's a good decision by Ian. If something goes wrong and he loses the runner at first, the other guy might go third or score.
Chris Bryant can run, Carp. That's why he didn't throw it. People don't realize that the big frame of Chris Bryant can absolutely fly. So the tappert is short. If you looked up to where Bryant was when Desmond caught it, he was about 4 steps from the base. Desmond didn't even have to make a decision because Bryant was safe.
2 on, 1 out. So keeping things in order with good decisions on the infield, a big part of team defense. Here's Montero. He struck out swinging first time. And Zimmerman moves him back, ball 1. That catches the outside edge. A couple of teams in the division have already lost today. Braves shut out at home by the Pirates. Phillies shut out at home by the Giants. As we play here late in the afternoon with results rolling in.
Giants, we stay in the same hotel as the Nationals in New York. They're playing the Mets.
Yeah, I heard that.
Holiday Inn Express right across the river.
You don't do that to world champions. Come on.
Hey, it's the guy. Holiday Inn Express is great. We stay there in spring training. It's the best hotel ever.
One ball, one strike. And that's way upstairs, and Joe West has no swing. I talked to some old timers, ball players. They used to go to New York and stay in the same hotel for 2 weeks. They would play a 6-game series with the Dodgers and a 6-game series with the New York Giants. Just go to, 1 week to one ballpark. The series were longer back then because of train travel. And can you imagine being in New York for 2 weeks? Well,
I'd be broke.
The survival rate, and everybody would be tapped out.
I'd be broke.
Yeah. And then invariably other teams would be in the same hotel. You'd be playing the Giants, they'd be playing the Dodgers. This kind of stuff used to happen all the time.
New York's like Vegas. It's good for about 3 days. After that,
get me out.
I'm good.
Well, the Nats have a short trip coming up there. Tuesday night Yankees, Wednesday afternoon Yankees, then on to Milwaukee. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good take right there by Montero. That's exactly what Jordan Zimmerman wanted to do. He thought he'd chase high. He elevated with 2 strikes, and Montero started his swing and then stopped. Good pitch.
3-2 with 1 out. A long look from Zimmerman to Ramos. Now a look at the runner. And a play. Desmond tried to sell the tag. Not sure Ian got the glove to the hand, but he got it near that bag, swiping away.
Even with a lefty up, Joe Madden will start the runners on first and third, 3-2 with 1 out. And you see Fowler thinking about it. A quick tag by Desmond. Couldn't tell in that angle. Looked like Fowler got back in.
3-2 again. Runners holding. And a high fly ball. Harper going back. The ball's carrying today. And Bryce has it right in front of the middle of that scoreboard. Look at this throw. So 375 feet away for the second out. Fowler to third.
Join us at Nats Park on Saturday, June 20th. The Nats take on the Pirates, 1:35 start. It's Senior Stroll And I caught some grief from some seniors at the gala for the way I read this the last couple times.
And I didn't include them in it.
I might tighten it up a little bit. All fans 62 and over are invited to enjoy this very special discounted ticket that includes concession credit, opportunity to come to the field after the game, stroll, walk, or sprint like Bob's going to do around the bases.
Absolutely. Chris Coughlin, a base hit, actually a double to left. He has scored the Cubs' only run. Did he check? Yes, says Joe West. 20-pitch inning for Jordan Zimmerman here in the third.
Speaking of seniors, you want to look at that Phillies-Giants score out there in right center field?
Yeah.
6-4 Phillies?
Oh, 6-4, sorry. I thought it was, in my glasses, it was 4-0. Look out. Look out, folks.
Sorry about that, Carp. Didn't mean to throw you under the bus, but I just thought you should look one more time at that score in right center field.
Checking with the optometrist. Long distance. I got the Braves right. Target in, way in. Coughlin back. You think you're having fun with me now?
Let me help you out, Cart. 6. There you go.
Thank you.
To 4.
Just wait a couple years.
Hey, it's hard. It's hard. It's way out there. We're 500 feet up. I got you. You know, neither one of us can get away with anything at this point. I couldn't let that go.
That's true. Counts 2-2. Jordan Zimmerman, since the start of 2013, 22-6 at Nationals Park. Zach Greinke, 20-5 for the Dodgers. The only percentage better over that time with 2 fewer wins. Target inner edge. And that ball out to center. Span after it. Still cruising. He's got it. I don't think the final score is going to be 2-1 today. We'll see. When the Nats win and win big, everyone wins. 7 or more if the Nats score. 50% off the next day. Regular menu price. Online orders, papajohns.com. The promo code to enter is NATS50. That's at participating D.C., Maryland, Northern Virginia locations. Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Official pizza of your Washington Nationals. Escobar, Harper, Rendon, bottom of the third. cloud cover now. Hitters probably welcome that this time of the day. Escobar shows bunt and takes a strike. Beautiful swing first time up. After seeing a couple of pitches away, a clean single right field. And this one to left. Coughlin waited a moment and then came in for it. Next up, Bryce Harper, who really stung the ball this first time up. So inside the numbers with STG and where he ranks. Yeah, first in this league in runs. Dozier and Donaldson, Minnesota and Toronto, 47 and 46 ahead of him. And RBIs, Giancarlo Stanton is one ahead at 47.
If Frank's right and the best is yet to come, I can't wait to see it.
Curveball to the left-hander. Strike one, a good one.
And in case you missed it, first time up, a line drive to second base, hit speed 108. It was a low tracer. It must be from Boston.
Bryce pulls that one to the right side, and handling that easily is Rizzo for the second out. Next up, Rendon. Ball game started today at 4:05. Just into the 5 o'clock hour now. BCFP DK at Nationals Park. 2-1 Washington on the Ian Desmond opposite field homer last inning. Anthony Rendon with a ground ball to short right after that forced out Escobar back in the first inning. After the Harper screamer to second base.
Montero's doing a nice job of pulling that outside pitch back in the zone. Those first two strikes look like they might have been borderline or a hair off, and we talk about it a lot with Jose Lobaton, but Montero did a nice job of pulling those back and getting the call from Kerwin Danley. See those pitches 2 and 3? Those were strikes.
Did Rendon go? Gabe Morales says no. Counts 2-2. There's that same pitch that he struck out Tyler Moore with last inning. A little late wrinkle to that thing. The Nats still lead 2-1. We serve today for a better tomorrow at DynCorp International. Our guys appreciate it every day when those men and women who defend us are in our ballpark. 2-3-0 Nats, 1-5-1 Cubs. That one error has cost the Cubs a run. And we go to the top of the fourth inning with Castro, Denorfia, and the pitcher Hendricks. 6, 7, 8. And tomorrow, actually Tuesday night in New York, no pitchers will be hitting. Second time this year in an American League ballpark. Fenway earlier, now Yankee Stadium with the DH. It'll be our first time there since the ballpark was in its first year in 2009. Castro, flare into left center for an RBI hit, first time up. Ian Desmond, plenty of time to scoop that one up and throw him out.
Who's hot, who's not? American Standard. Celebrate the season with American Standard All-Star Sales Event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities. Jordan Zimmerman's ERA going down, down, down. And I don't think any of us ever thought it was going to go any other way.
Career ERA, including those games this year, 3.21. And a ball to right. Chris Denorfia, 2 for 2. This guy got off to a great start with 9 hits in his first 21 at bats. Played a couple of days, pulled the hamstring, came off the DL, and then he went on again. This veteran guy showing some Cubs how to hit.
He's slowly approaching the Nat Killer Club.
Yeah. First bunt of the day didn't go well for Kyle Hendricks. About a quick 3-hopper right back to Jordan Zimmerman. And he got a force out at third base with 2 on, 1 out back in the second. Was a sign missed? There's a visit with third base coach Gary Jones.
Don't get too close. You got a toothpick. You put an eye out. You see it? He's all UL Washington down there with a toothpick. Remember UL played shortstop for the Royals with a toothpick in his mouth the whole time? Dusty Baker, former manager, used to be a toothpick guy. There it is.
Bouncing ball right side. Tyler Moore couldn't reach it. So he goes back to the bag and receives the underhand toss from Rendon.
Good as a bunt.
Jonathan Herrera, the number 9 man, will be next. The Nats are off to New York. 7 o'clock Tuesday. WUSA 9 will join us. Max Scherzer, Masahiro Tanaka, who's 3-1. And then Gio goes against Nathan Eovaldi in the afternoon game. It'll be a brief visit indeed to the Bronx. And then on to Milwaukee for a 4-game series. Road trip will end with 2 next Monday, Tuesday in Tampa Bay. And then the Rays come right back here and face the Nats home and home.
Yeah, I can't wait to go out to the Zimmerman's tailgate in Milwaukee. One of the best things I experienced all last year, going out there and watching his family. And if you've ever been to a Brewers game, that's what they do. They tailgate. But the Zimmerman clan, what, about 40 strong last year with their barbecue out there.
So with the day off, I guess Jordan's pitching Saturday, right?
Their pheasant poppers. I'm all over it. I just invited myself, by the way. I'm coming whether you want me or not.
We've never heard that before.
Well, it's great to meet his whole family. It may be more fun to go after a game, if you know what I mean, but hey.
Yeah. Well, they say nothing good ever happens after 7 p.m. in Milwaukee. No balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball, Herrera, base hit. That's another 0-2 pitch. Harper fires it home, and a chance. He is safe. Herrera got around Ramos, and the game is tied. And the Cubs continue to get hits on 0-2 pitches.
Great throw by Bryce Harper. I don't know how he was safe. I mean, he was safe, but it didn't look like Wilson Ramos wanted a whole lot to do with contact right there. I feel like if he dove on top of Denorfia, he had a chance. Watch the throw by Harper. Perfect throw. Cannon right to Wilson Ramos. And he really didn't put the tag on. If he just dives into Denorfia here, he's out. Easy to say, it's going real fast down there, but just the way that thing was shaping up, it looked like they had a chance at the plate.
Yeah, Bryce very close to his 5th assist of the year.
And maybe Denorfia was by him. Great slide by Denorfia. That's a hook slide, folks, and that was perfect.
Yeah, he was pretty far over in fair ground. Or foul ground, pardon me. So here's Fowler, and then the hitter, Herrera, of course, keeps on going. And they have the lead run in scoring position. How to play left side. So the Cubs have 4 hits from the 6th hitter on down today.
You know, back in the day when you could crush a catcher, that blindside throw from right field, that's the tough one when you talk to catchers, because you're not seeing the runner coming down the line from third. And a lot of times you catch that ball and walk right into a guy that's going to smoke you. But that's not the case nowadays. You very rarely see a guy run into a catcher. And Wilson Ramos did a nice job of leaving the plate open, which he had to do. And I think he might have thought that Denorfia was going to be a little bit closer to him, but Denorfia put on a nice hook slide, and Ramos went to tag him, and he wasn't there.
Cubs have out hit the Nats 7-3. All those hits in the last 3 innings. And a high fly ball out of play.
A pretty good throw by Harper. And I always marvel at how accurate his arm is. We all know it's strong, but it's a strike to Ramos from about 280 feet away.
Wilson close to getting him on the sleeve.
A lot of guys will grab that and just dive right into the runner. I think Wilson thought he was a little bit closer to him. And I don't know if Bryce hurt his arm on his throw, but he's been squatting out there since he threw it, kind of trying to get his right arm loose. I don't know if he felt something on that throw or not.
Another 0-2 count. And a pitch upstairs pops him up. Anthony Rendon making the call and backpedaling to grab it. So the Cubs get a couple of hits. A 2-out knock by Jonathan Herrera, and a 2-2 game now. We hope Bryce is all right. George out early, and then George way out front late. It was a bona fide, no pauses, no stoppages, no cartoon characters, flat out race today. Skies darkening a bit overhead as we go bottom four. Ramos, Desmond, and Moore. Wilson Ramos, routine ground ball to Castro. Tried to style it a little, throw him out on the run, and he booted it. And then one batter later, it was 2-1. One ball, one strike. Ramos in the series, 3 for 9. A homer of his own and 2 RBIs. Little tapper. That's a foul ball still in the box. And then that big curveball just laying outside down in the dirt. And Ramos can't reach that one. Hendricks with 81 away for his 4th strikeout. And next up it'll be Ian Desmond. Welcome those of you who've been watching the Orioles. We're at Nationals Park in D.C. It's a 2-2 game. 4th game of a weekend series. Orioles won their ball game at Cleveland today, 7-3, and that's outside. Ian Desmond's home run, the Nats offense today. Ramos hit a ground ball for an error back in the 2nd. Desmond over the scoreboard right center for his 5th home run, and the Cubs have scored single runs in the 2nd and the 4th.
Yeah, 2nd inning, Ian Desmond on a pitch away. Did a nice job of letting it get deep. Drills it to right center field, and Bryce Harper, the helmet taker offer guy. And it looks like Ian Desmond's thinking about going that way again in his 2nd at bat. Another inside out swing.
Pitch number 3 went a long way. 2-2. And Desmond out to center with this one, drifting back. Fowler. Next up, Tyler Moore.
Are you shocked that it's another good game between these two teams?
It's close. Widest margin of victory in the 6 games between the Nats and the Cubs the last week and a half. 3 runs. A Max Scherzer shutout at Wrigley on getaway night last week. And this one hit a long way out to left center. Fowler just onto the track and grabs that drive by Tyler Moore. So a 1-2-3 inning. In fact, 2 of them in a row for Kyle Hendricks.
set. Now, a lot of fans might not know this, but Michael Taylor was actually drafted as a shortstop by the Nationals before being moved into an outfield role. And Taylor told me today that wasn't a decision that he was altogether too pleased with. But over the last 5 years, Taylor has become one of the more promising defensive players that's come up through the Nats minor league ranks. Tony Tarasco raves about his work ethic and thirst for knowledge, and some scouts view Taylor as a potential elite defender in center. Looking back on it, Taylor knows the Nats' decision to move him to the outfield was a wise one, and he's able to laugh about it now, guys, saying he was terrible defensively at short. He still has an infielder's mitt in his locker that he likes to play with from time to time, but he's doing all right out in the outfield for this club.
Well, maybe his honesty, one of the reasons they drafted him. He has had some spectacular moments in the outfield. Some uncertain ones early in the season, but he's overcome that. Anthony Rizzo, a walk, a fly ball, 0 for 1 today. And Jordan Zimmerman drops a nice 81 off speed on him. No balls, 2 strikes, 5th inning underway. Did he stop? He did.
Oh, Justin Upton was a shortstop when he got drafted. And apparently he had trouble throwing the ball across the infield, so they moved him to left field. That worked out all right.
There's nobody where Rizzo hit that ball, and Anthony Rendon just couldn't get to it to throw him out. So Anthony Rizzo, 7 hits in this series. Let's go inside some defense with STG. 7 errors since the middle of May. The Nationals are up to number 11 in the league out of 15 teams after being in the cellar for really the first 6 weeks of the season.
Do the error thing on the temperature below 70 and above 70.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm blaming everything on the weather from now on.
Chris Bryant, the hitter, 1 for 2 with an infield hit.
Big lead by Rizzo. Not so much.
Really?
No.
Okay. That is fair. Hits the short side of the corner. Comes out in front of Michael A. Taylor. And the Cubs tandem, the corner infielders, Rizzo and Bryant, put runners at second and third. Nobody out.
That's the pitch you've seen Bryant cover in the 7 games the Nats have played against the young star from the Cubs. He likes the slider. He likes it out over the plate. That's where he's done the most damage, and I don't think Jordan wanted that one there. Probably wanted to bounce that down away, but he left it out over, and Bryant with a double and Anthony Rizzo to third.
Ball 1. Montero, swinging strikeout, and a high fly ball that pinned Bryce Harper up against the scoreboard.
And to Bryant's credit, he doesn't miss mistakes very often. He really doesn't.
Coughlin, a lefty on deck, then a right-hander, Castro.
Montero thinking about a ground ball to second. Get a runner in, get a runner over, get both jobs done.
The aforementioned left-handed hitting Chris Coughlin, who has an opposite field double in 2 trips. And that's
ball 4.
Yeah. Kerwin Danley made no signal. Montero acted like he thought it was a strike, and the umpire sent the batter to first base. Bases loaded, nobody out.
He started to call it a strike. That's what Steve McCatty's saying, and then he just kind of like balked, like an umpire balk. Let's keep an eye on Kerwin Danley. He stands up, and it looks like he calls this a strike, right? Stands up, Look at, he starts to pick his right arm up, and his strike call as he looks toward the first base dugout. The call, look, no, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe that's a balk.
Here's Chris Coghlan. Infield looking for two, and now Jordan struggling to find the plate. Not like him. That was his first walk today. His 16th of the year in 73 innings.
That might have been his first changeup of the day at 87. Let's see if there's a slider or changeup. Look at it again. That's a straight change at 87. He's thrown about 2 all year. He went to it right there.
Base hit off Tyler Moore's glove. Second runner coming home. Harper has to throw into second, and the Cubs lead 4-2. They've had 4 straight innings with at least 2 hits.
So elevated fastball right here by Jordan Zimmermann, and you see the reach by Ramos. Ramos wanted it down and away. It was right down the middle. And Chris Coghlan has had a nice day. A double, a bullet to center field last time up, and now a single and a couple of RBIs. Line is moving here in the 5th for the Cubs.
And still nobody out. So 3 hits, a run in the second, 2 hits in a scoreless third. 2 hits, got a run last inning, and now 3 hits with 2 more runs here in the 5th against Jordan Zimmermann, who's 1-4 career with an ERA of over 4.5 now, career against the Cubs. Castro, the next batter. And with the Nationals not hitting as a team right now, every deficit seems really large. Castro goes up hacking and pops it up. Short right field. Rendon. First out.
Nice play by Rendon right there. I'm interested to see Bryce Harper throw. The last throw he threw to home, he squatted down and he wasn't showing up Wilson Ramos. He kind of started to like stretch his arm out a little bit. And that play right there, he had no interest in throwing out Chris Bryant at the plate. He didn't have a chance, but he just flipped it really lightly into second base. And I don't know if it was a double early in the game by Chris Coghlan down in the right field corner that he did something, or on the throw to home to Wilson Ramos, but something I'm definitely, and we should all definitely keep an eye on.
Well, here's Christian Orfia, who's 2 for 2. And now 4 for 10 career against Jordan Zimmermann. '86, and the count's even.
Hey, bases loaded, nobody out. You get out of this with 2 runs, it's good damage control. So Jordan Zimmermann right now, pitch number 90 coming, is trying to limit this whole deal that the Cubs have going on. And you probably already said it, but he's due up second in the 5th.
Yeah, just looking at the scorecard on that one. A lot of pitches. Over, and he gets the call at the knees at 93.
It's strike 3, isn't it?
A lot of people downstairs are hollering that.
It's strike 3.
We had a 3-ball walk in Cincinnati last week, and put this together with Kerwin Danley's sort of call earlier in the inning. Not great communication going on right now.
Kerr and Danley not very emphatic about anything this inning. He just calls that like it's strike one. And that was strike three.
Jordan Zimmerman with his third strikeout of the day. Now a fly ball to Harper. So Jordan makes a pretty remarkable quick comeback from 2 hits, a walk, and a 2-run double.
Time for a Cox game summary. Cox delivering life's most important connections. 4-2 Cubs. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Ian Desmond 2-run homer. His 5th. That was in the 2nd. Chris Cogwood having a nice day for the Cubs. 2 for 3, a double. A couple of RBI. And Jordan Zimmerman 4 earned runs, 10 hits in 5 innings. Did a nice job to get out of that with just giving up 2 runs and keep his ball club in the game.
Yeah, 3 really quick outs after that. And it looks like Clint Robinson will be batting for him shortly. Here's Taylor, bottom of the 5th.
You know, I said it in the open, and I don't know if the Cubs just match up with the Nats well or not. But based on the 7 games I've seen these 2 teams play, and this is a bold statement, I think the Cubs are one of the best teams I've seen this year. You know, a couple tweaks here or there, maybe with some position players and some bullpen things. It's a good ball club. They swing it. And they play hard.
Clint Robinson on deck. Jordan Zimmerman 92 pitches in 5 innings and trailing by 2. Well, Friday night looked like the big pressure release, right? The Nats had 7 runs on 12 hits. Held off the Cubs, but then 2 runs and 5 hits yesterday. 2 runs, 3 hits today. Taylor pulls it to Hopper, right to Chris Bryant, who sends Rizzo into foul ground, and he stayed on the bag.
That's good hustle by Michael Taylor. And Chris Bryant looked up and saw Taylor a lot closer than he thought to first base, and he had to rush the throw. That's why you run hard down the line every time. A lot of times fielders will look up and go, uh-oh. Watch Taylor just put his head down and go on a routine grounder at third. And if you don't love that, you don't love baseball. That's called a hard 90, folks. And look at Bryant. He looks up and sees Taylor's almost there, and he rushes the throw.
Clint Robinson in this series, 1 for 4 with a walk. And as a pinch hitter, 3 for 18, 2 batted in. And this ball to left center. Not a grab, it's a base hit. I thought Dexter Fowler had no chance to get there, and he almost did. That guy's got some kind of speed. Robinson gets a pinch hit.
A nice hitting by Clinton Robinson right here. Just going with the pitch. Hung in the air a little bit too much. The route by Fowler was kind of a U route. He went back on this ball, and that was the difference in the ball dropping. Kind of fooled by off the end of the bat. And Robinson will take that all day.
So Jordan Zimmermann, 5 innings, 4 runs on 10 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Denard Span, a swinging strikeout and a rollover grounder to second. That's up in the zone. Outside edge, 1 ball, 1 strike. Blake Treinen, a rather early assignment for him, will be in the 6th inning. This part of the ball game not good to Kyle Hendricks lately. That's that brought to you by Jeep.
Yeah, 3rd time around the order, opponents are hitting .340. 18 for 53.
Yeah, he misses bats early, but not later. Span will drop one into right center. Robinson heading around second, keeps on going, and the Nats have a corner situation with 1 out.
I was going to say it during the middle of his at-bat, but I want to see how it ends up. You look at him go down and get. That's just beautiful. Cricket, anybody? Look at the bats and kind of driving with his lower half, staying through that ball. But as Denard Span goes, so goes the Nats offense. And you hate to put that much pressure on one guy, but we've seen it all for the last couple of years. If he's locked in and he's on base, they win. And it's a team game, I realize that. But he's the conductor of the train. When he's on, the whole game changes. And when he struggles, the offense struggles. He's the leader of the whole deal, and it's as simple as that.
Yunel Escobar, opposite field single, fly ball to left. Nationals down by 2. Goes up hacking, and a bounce over the tarp.
Trying to shoot that hole on the right side. You see that inside out swing? Just didn't have the pitch to do it with. Look at that. That's a huge hole on that side.
And Montero able to grab that thing cleanly. 1 ball, 1 strike on a breaking ball way low, way away.
And if it was that easy to hit that hole, guys would be doing it all day, every day, and a good average would be 500.
Spreads the wealth around with his hits. And now he has at least 20 hits to every part of the field. Perfect by Yunel Escobar. It's a 4-3 game. 2-on with Harper coming up.
All right, going back to your little Game 7 game, which I liked in the open today. What if this was a Game 7? This has been unbelievable. Cubs score, Nats score. Cubs score, Nats score. 2nd inning, 5th inning. Nice answer and counting. And Yunel Escobar, professional hitter, does it again. Using the whole field, inside out swing, trying to use that hole provided by Denard Span. Gets his ball club within 1.
Yeah, 3 days off, a real problem for him, wasn't it?
I just love watching him play.
He now has 62 hits for the Nats and 193 at bats this year, hitting .321. Big spot for Bryce Harper. A laser to second caught. A ground ball to first. He's 0 for 2 today. Hendricks to the stretch.
Right man in the right spot if you're Matt Williams and the Nats. Here we go.
Hendricks looking for a ball that won't go far. Maybe the seams didn't feel right.
Almost balked.
And Bryce ripping on 89. No gloves, but the little thumb guard this time around. Great numbers with runners in scoring position. And they've also walked him 15 out of his 48 times.
Opponents hitting .342 against Hendricks with runners in scoring position this year, coming into today.
And Montero has it dropped but keeps it close.
13 for 38 with 18 RBI.
And here come the gloves in the middle of an at-bat.
Wow. I can't keep track anymore. Maybe didn't like the way the sweat and the pine tars mix is going right now. A little slippage on the first swing. So he's going bottom hand grippage. All right. Just one.
One the count. Harper, short center. Ball falling, but Fowler gets there. 2 outs. It'll be up to Anthony Rendon.
Got a pretty good pitch, and he's frustrated that he didn't do more with it.
Anthony Rendon hitless today. Oh, for his last 5 in this series. After he went 3 for his first 8, and that's blown away. A couple of ground balls. Actually, 1 ground ball today and then a swinging strikeout. He went out to short back in the first.
2-out double steal is not the worst play in the world right here, down by 1. And Span's looking to go, and Escobar's watching him.
Rizzo playing way off the line. So Escobar's a third of the way to second base as the pitch is thrown.
Well, he's got his eyes on Denard, and Denard won't go unless he's 1,000,000,000% sure he's going to make it. He doesn't want to take the bat out of Rendon's hands, but if they're giving it to you.
Yeah, didn't get a fastball in 2-0.
2-0 changeup.
A lot of off speed. Three and one. Wilson Ramos waiting. And Rendon hits it high in the air over first base way, and it's going to stay in for Rizzo. The Nats had a run in, first and second, 1 out. Harper and Rendon fly out, but they pick up a run, and it's 4-3 after 5.
Between these two ball clubs. Be sure to text Masson's word of the day, President, to 29292 for your chance to win a meet and greet with Max Scherzer. That's President to 29292 for your chance to win with Masson. Brought to you by Cox, delivering life's most important connections.
Blake Treinen has been pretty solid lately, displaying that devastating running, sinking fastball and that big slider. A little earlier for him today, 6th inning.
He's been attacking the strike zone with both of his pitches.
.32 strikeouts in the top 4 among National League relievers. Pretty impressive for a guy who's not a closer. Herrera, Fowler, and Rizzo, top of the 6th. I mean, look at the movement, and that's 97. That one stayed a little straighter at 98. Herrera was getting out of dodge. Tough to bunt a pitch moving that much. Strike 2. Got him right near the hands. The left side. Escobar for the first out.
So the guys in the truck are working hard, and they think they found what happened to Bryce. It was a curveball in his first pitch in the 3rd inning, and watch the reaction after he swings and misses. Something going on with that right arm.
Yeah. Here's Dexter Fowler. 1 for 3 today with a double. And he's hurt the Nats with 6 hits in this series, scoring 4 runs. I mean, late for 97. Anthony Rendon charging in. Didn't want to let another hop. And so Blake Treinen keeps the streak going. 5 consecutive Cubs retired since that Coghlan double last inning. For the Achiever and You, PNC Bank, with our minor league report, and we check in on P.J. Walters at Syracuse. His debut with the Chiefs. 4 earned runs on 4 hits. Look at the strikeout total. Been in the big leagues before. P.J. Walters.
Call him up.
Shoring up the Syracuse staff. Look at Rizzo. He's on base for the 3rd time today. Bryce Harper, strong throw. Don't Cadillac in there too much. It gets away, and Escobar back there grabs it and does a pirouette. Anthony Rizzo has now been on base 2 or more times this year in 37 games. The only guy more, Bryce Harper, 40.
And he just covers the inner half of the plate as good as any left-hander I've seen this year. And it's not like he's up there to pull. He'll hit the ball the other way, but if you throw it down and in, his hands are in a place where he just simply drops him on the baseball, whether it's 90 or 97.
So a 2-out double. He's walked, singled, and doubled. And here's Bryant, who has 2 hits, including that double to left field last time up. This may be one of those matchups you've been looking for with Bryant against the kind of fastball that Blake Treinen possesses. See how he can handle that. And a 2-0 pitch misses. Missed on 4 in a row. 2 on, 2 out.
I don't think that was a pitch around by any means. Not to get to lefty Miguel Montero.
Agreed. Cubs box. RBI Castro, second inning. In the 4th, single by Herrera, the number 9 hitter. And then Coghlan, the big blow, the 2-run single in the 5th. But then Jordan Zimmerman retired 3 hitters quickly to get out of that frame. He's been replaced by Blake Trinan, and Rizzo has doubled in this 6th inning with a Bryant walk to follow. So here's Miguel Montero, 0 for 2 with the base on balls. That one stays straight and stays inside.
Montero's swinging right here if he gets a strike, and it's going to be from the heels.
Facing Trinan for the first time, and now Blake struggling with command. Inning started with 2 quick infield outs. There's the swing back action on the 96.
I look like Montero was thinking about Green Light City. He just saw that in and came back, got the inside half for strike 1.
And again. And that time Montero able to get a bit of a measure on one. Count stays 3-2.
Yeah, 3 two-seam fastballs all in the same spot, all running back for a strike. Montero had to protect right there.
Important for the Nats to keep this 4-3 after they just put 3 hits together for a run. Walked in, bases loaded. Chris Coghlan, the left-hander. And this is Matt Williams with an urgent run to the mound.
That was about throw the ball over the plate and let these guys play catch behind you. Let's go. And if you read his lips, that's almost exactly what he said. Let's throw the ball over the plate and let these guys make a play behind you. Let's go.
Chris Coghlan, 2 for 3. A double, a run, 2-run single. And he probably thought, I'm going to get a first pitch fastball right after the skipper came out.
Right.
Didn't get it.
If I was a young pitcher and Matt Williams came out to the mound, I would not even hear what he said. I would just be like, the skipper's out here, and this isn't good.
Third base Rizzo doubled with 2 outs. Bryant walked. So did Montero. Ball gets away. Here comes the runner. Cubs lead 5-3.
I think it hit him. He was going to first like it hit him in the foot. He yelled like it hit him in the foot. And let's see if it did. Yeah, you see it ricochet back the other way. It had to hit him in the foot, right? I mean, either way, it's a run.
I mean, Joe Madden's got to come out and have Kerwin Danley ask for some help, doesn't he? His hitter reacted like he took it right on the foot.
Yeah, it redirected. It was a redirect. You see him screaming out.
Bases loaded on the intentional walk.
Yeah, this doesn't matter, really.
Starlin Castro. It's a 2-run game. Slider outside, and Blake has just lost the strike zone.
Well, he's guiding it, and he's not letting it rip. He's thinking about throwing strikes instead of just letting her fly.
There you go. Starlin Castro 1 for 3 against Trinan. And that is in left field. Taylor coming at it, throwing home, good throw, runner out. The Cubs will pick up a run and lose another man at the plate. But it's now 6-3 Chicago. The Nats don't get the shutdown inning they needed.
Score a couple of runs, so a 4-3 game turns into a 6-3 game. And how many times do you see free passes score? All the time. But Michael Taylor does a nice job of charging this ball. You see the gun. The former shortstop with a strike to home plate. Good tag by Ramos to get Miguel Montero. And I think that's a second broken bat single for Starlin Castro over shortstop today. But a good throw by Taylor. That gives you a good look. Nice tag by Ramos. Ian Desmond just over the tip of his glove. And now the Nats have some work to do here in the bottom of the 6th.
That they do. It'll be Ramos, Desmond, and Moore. Miguel wants somebody in the dugout to take a look at that.
He's saying his foot got in there before Ramos tagged him.
Still talking about it.
He tagged me? Did you read his lips right there? He tagged me?
Well, Justin Grimm, this is interesting. Hendricks gave up 3 hits last inning. And the Cubs are going to their bullpen here, leading by 3. They have a day off tomorrow. Then they play the Tigers, so Joe Madden pulling out the stops to win 3 out of 4 right here.
He's just going to his bullpen. His starter was done. And he's going to a guy that throws 95.
Aaron Barrett for the Nats. That was a 27-pitch inning for Blake Trinan. That's nasty.
Well, that's the curveball from Grimm, and you know he threw a lot of those to Ramos the other day, and I think he threw one too many, and Wilson touched him for a home run to right center field. He threw 4 in a row to Ramos, and he hit the 4th one out.
That's a fastball that Wilson gets a piece of. Onto the track, and Chris Denorfia squeezes it for the first down. Nats box, as is the norm lately, most of the offense on the home run. Desmond a 2-run shot after Ramos reached on an error in the 2nd, and then the Nationals put 3 singles together. Robinson a pinch hit, Span and Escobar the RBI to get that ball game back to 4-3 before the Cubs came back and got 2 in the 6th. Desmond 1 for 2. The homer to right center, and then the fly ball to center. And a breaking ball hit well the other way, but Denorfia goes back for that.
I like Ian Desmond's approach today. Really getting inside the ball, thinking about driving it back up the middle the other way. A couple hard hit balls here in the 6th, nothing to show.
Tyler Moore will be next.
Just missed the sweet spot last time up. Hit a deep fly ball to center field.
Wow. Gabe Morales says a swing 0-2.
Kerwin Danley, appreciate that block right there by Miguel Montero. Nobody on. That's how you get some calls when you come up to the plate as a catcher, protecting the home plate umpire.
establishing the curveball, to say the least, here in the 6th inning. Third appearance in this series for Justin Grimm. Nothing but hooks and nasty ones at that. Couple of long fly balls, one a line drive, and then a strikeout. This one into the 7th inning. Chicago 6-3.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. We're going back to the 4th inning. And a base hit by Jonathan Herrera scores Chris Denorfia to make it a 2-2 game. Good slide by Denorfia. Good throw by Harper. Good baseball play all the way around. So we made it our Miller moment.
To the 7th inning, Denorfia will lead off. Then the pitcher's spot. Aaron Barrett will take the mound for the Nationals here. And the Bear pitched in the 6th inning here Friday night. Inning and 2/3 to close things out the night before.
Our lefty's hitting 167 against Barrett. And his job to keep it a 6-3 game.
And a fastball. Denorfia fouls it straight down.
I walked that one off. He hit this ball hard too. Watch, fastball up right off the instep of his left foot. You heard him yell. Throw it right back in there.
And Justin Grimm on deck to hit. Pretty impressive inning he just threw. Even though a couple of balls were hit deep, and the count's 1-2. Busted bat, right side, Rendon. First out, 7th inning.
Come out to Nats Park on Friday, June 19th. The Nats take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's game 1 of a 3-game set. First 15,000 fans in attendance, ages 21 and up. You get that Pilsner Cup right there. It's presented by Miller Lite. Happy hour at Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk, featuring $6 drink specials that night. And there's live music starting at 4:30 p.m. until the first pitch at 7:05. Visit Nationals.com to purchase that ticket right now. Thanks, Wilson.
Justin Grimm, first at bat this year, and it's in there. 0 for 3 career. 2 of those at bats last year. And that'll run back to the outside edge. No balls, 2 strikes.
If Aaron Barrett can consistently command the inner half of the plate with his 2-seam fastball, that slider away is almost impossible to hit. Because as a hitter, I'm thinking, 95, it's coming toward me. If I'm a right-handed hitter, I got to get my swing going early. And if I got to get my swing going early, I'm totally susceptible to anything on the other side of the plate, especially that nasty slider he has with 2 strikes. So I think more than any Nats pitcher, strike 1 important for Barrett, and commanding the inner half of the plate to right-handers. Extremely important.
Well, he kind of ran that one in on the pitcher. Follows it up with the slider right in there. 2 outs. And next up, Jonathan Herrera.
That was $37 right there, folks. Toyota K's for kids. Toyota dealers here in D.C. want to help children and their families by making that donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every K by a Nats pitcher for the rest of your life.
Well, Herrera starting the last 2 games in this series, and he has 3 hits and 7 at bats, a couple of RBIs. Cubs getting production from the number 9 batter in the order, hitting behind the pitcher.
What if you led the pitcher off?
Get him out of the way?
Just get him out of the way.
That is a broken bat.
I mean, that way, if you get a hit, it's a bonus. And now he doesn't hit for a couple of innings. And you just get him out of the way real quick.
Might be worse to get him on base, and then he clogs up your leadoff guy and the number 2 hitter coming up.
No,
it's interesting, though.
Just tell him to go up and make an out. You're leading off today, Doug Fister. I'm just thinking out of the box.
You've been hanging around with Joe Madden a lot lately, and you're thinking out of the box. Walked by his office Friday, and the Rolling Stones were on. Not in the clubhouse.
His office?
In his office. Here at Nationals Park, in the visiting clubhouse, there's the hallway. There's an outer office with a bunch of chairs around, and then you walk into the manager's office, and that outer office was blazing with Rolling Stones. Joe Madden.
He was a heck of a hitting coach for the Angels back in the day. I had a few friends that played for him and absolutely loved him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Cubs also have a little thing on the lineup card, not the official lineup card, but their own smaller one they post in the clubhouse. It says respect 90 with a big W under it. So that 90 win thing is kind of a theme for them.
No, I think it means run hard to first base every time.
Okay, well, somebody told me 90 wins, so
trust me, they're not putting 90 wins on their scorecard. And it's about running hard to first base every single time all year long. Respect 90, hard 90.
And I guess, the W's for win. It's that same little block W that's on the flag at Wrigley Field on the scoreboard after they win a ball game. Yeah, they say go hard for 90 and good things will come back to you, right?
Right. We showed Michael Taylor busting it down there, and he almost made Chris Bryant throw it away.
2-2 pitch. Barrett and Herrera, good battle here.
Go fastball up, changes eye level. And now you go slider down and in and see if he swings over the top. If I'm a hitter right here, I'm thinking if I see that ball high to Barrett's hands, it's another high fastball, and that slider has any kind of breakdown and in, he may swing over the top.
On a pop-up, short right center. Rendon out, Span in. Denard makes the call. And a 1-2-3, 7th inning for Aaron Barrett. Our Hyundai 7th inning stretch. They're still working on the Capitol Dome, and the Nats are still working on trying to get some offense going. Just 6 hits today, and trailing by 3. Washington Nationals, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals.
Nats trail by 3 as we hit the 7th inning stretch at Nationals Park. An update on a couple injured starters for you. Doug Fister threw a rehab game today for AAA Syracuse. His first rehab appearance since landing on the DL with a strained flexor. Went 3 2/3 innings, allowed 2 runs on 7 hits, 6 Ks for Fister, and no walks in that outing. Steven Strasburg on the DL with a strained trap. Threw a 30-pitch bullpen session the other day and was out on the field earlier today throwing off flat ground. So both Fister and Strasburg working their way back from their respective injuries, guys.
Yeah, good news on the starting front. Badly needed good news for the Nats. Day off tomorrow, Tuesday, 7 o'clock in New York, but instead of heading east to Queens, we're heading north to the Bronx. Masahiro Tanaka, 3-1, 2.76 ERA. Max Scherzer, 6-4 with a 1.85. He's 4-2 career against the Yankees with a 3.79 ERA. 6:30 Nats Extra on Masson, 7:05 first pitch.
Max Scherzer's had some tough ones this year. I guess that goes with being an ace. He's pitched against the best all season long, it seems like.
Hard to believe he's 6-4 with the way he's thrown the ball. Big curveball to Michael A. Taylor.
Yeah, Tanaka's last start against Seattle, he went 7 innings, gave up just 1 run, struck out 9 Mariners, and walked nobody. So coming off a good one.
Two balls, 1 strike. Base runners badly needed. Might have been off the plate. 95, he couldn't get it. Left-hander James Russell.
For Denard Span, maybe, if there's a situation brewing?
Quite possibly. It's up to Taylor and Ugla, who's on deck. And Michael will take that one outside, 3-2.
All in on the fastball right here. If he throws me a 3-2 curveball, thanks for coming. That's the way you got to think in this situation. And just adjust to the fastball. You know, I mean to the curveball, excuse me.
Pitch up, high fly ball. And right near the track and in by a row or two.
You got it. Give it to a kid. Nice. Getting high fives from all the fans. Nice job. I like to see people give balls to kids. It's very nice. Kid's going to have that the rest of his life.
Casey Jansen. Taylor rifles one the other way and into the seats.
Heads up.
Yeah, they're looking right into the sun over there. Coming right in from the west. Beautiful shot. Clouds have gone away. Late in the day here. A 3-2, nobody out, and Taylor gets a good rip.
Battling. Good fight going on between these two. You always wonder as a hitter when you see about 3-2 fastballs in a row. Is he going to go to that curveball? How many is he going to throw me in a row? But you still have to be ready for number one.
He's out. Right on the edge. Michael A. Taylor strikes out for the 50th time.
Treat your clients, employees, friends, or family to amazing outing at Nats Park, where you can see mini Ian Desmond. New for 2015, brand new fan experiences can be included in group outing like watching batting practices from the dugout or holding the finish line for the Geico President's Race. Visit nationals.com/group for more details to book that experience today.
Dan Ugla, the pinch hitter. 1 for 3 with an RBI in this series.
Almost looked like Michael Taylor thought about the curveball a lot that last pitch, and pretty good pitch by Grimm on the fastball away, but 96 on the black.
Quite a crowd today, biggest of the series. 40,939. The series draws 150,742. So the average for 4 games, 37,685. Congrats, Nats fans. Ugla will get around it and hook it out into left field. That's his second hit of this series coming off the bench.
I'll tell you what, he's proven so valuable off the bench for Matt Williams. And it's a role he's never had before. They tried it with him in Atlanta last year, and I don't think he embraced it too well, but he's getting opportunity. He's working hard in the cages behind the scenes, and he's getting fastballs that he's not missing.
3 for 8 as a pinch hitter. So you talk about a situation. 1 on, 1 out. Enough of a situation. Denard Span coming up. Left-hander James Russell's been warming. And this call to the bullpen is packaged by the UPS store. Your one-stop shop for all your small business needs. Let us handle your mailbox service needs. We love logistics. especially those Cub fans in their blue. Nats looking for some offense here in a lefty-lefty matchup. James Russell.
A fastball 89 from Russell. Slider 23% of the time at 83. He'll throw a curveball and a changeup as well. He'll cut the fastball, sink the fastball. 17th appearance. League hitting .244 against Cubs left-hander.
He was brought in Thursday night to face Denard Span and popped him up. Span 0 for 4 career against him. Cubs have a right-hander warming for Escobar. And then Bryce Harper after him. We'll see how far this 7th inning can go.
That's about the best swing I've seen Denard Span take in a while. Very aggressive right there, just a hair late on the 91. And he was betting first pitch fastball and got it. Watch the aggressive nature of that swing, just kind of letting it rip. And maybe after a single his last time up, he's starting to feel a little better up there.
Good take, and it's 1-1. Right there again, ball 2. He can be nasty from this side just like his dad was from the right side.
He's perfect.
Dad Jeff Russell, hard throwing right-hander, did some closing back in the late 80s. And that's on the other side missing. 3-1.
So all fastballs from Russell to Span.
You know, Escobar's had a good day. 2 opposite field hits. His 15th RBI back in the 5th.
1 pitch, 1 spot if you're Denard right here. Right in your sweet spot.
Three-2 with 1 out. And Denard having a good at bat, getting some good swings.
It looks like he found something. I'm trying to figure out what it is, but the swing a lot more compact. Maybe just relaxed after a hit, but taking some pretty good passes.
Yeah, they had him reaching early. His first 2 at bats, stuff away, strikeout, and then the rollover ground ball to second. And he got jammed and popped it up. Castro with the call, 2 down. So Russell most probably stays here, even though there's a right-handed batter, because Escobar can't tie the game, and then they'd still have him for Harper.
Well, this is by far the biggest at-bat of the game. No pressure, you know, Escobar, but if you can get up and get on base and have Bryce Harper represent the tie and run here in the 7th, that's your job right here. Leadoff hitter's mentality. I got to get on any way I can for the guy on deck.
He's had that right field idea all day and has done well with it. Escobar 0 for 1 career against Russell. By the way, if it gets that far, Bryce Harper has faced Russell 5 times, 3 walks, 2 doubles. Escobar will make that happen. Ugla stops at second. And a little 7th inning drama now in a lefty-lefty matchup.
Well, I'm standing up for this at bat. I don't know about you. Yunel Escobar, welcome back with a 3-fer. Single his first time up, single his 3rd time up, and his 4th time up, another one right back up the middle. Russell reaching for it. Ooh. Half a day, Yunel Escobar. Huge at-bat, moving the line to Bryce Harper. And if you're Matt Williams, this is all you can hope for. Getting your big guy up there, 19 home runs, down by 3, representing the tying run.
Chris Bosio, the pitching coach, as they consider this matchup now.
If you read Chris Bosio's lips, he said, you like the slider? And he said, okay, let's go with the slider. That's why guys cover their mouth sometimes. Let's see if they go first pitch slider to Bryce Harper. And this is a tough situation for Montero and Russell, because usually in a late inning situation, when you have a power hitter representing the tie and run, you're going to make him beat you the other way. Bryce Harper's already shown in this series that he can hit home runs to left. So what does Russell do? Do you jam him? He can get you to the pull side. Do you go away? He can get you the other way. And if I was reading lips right, I think they're going with the slider right here. This could be interesting.
Harper 0 for 3 today. Not many 0-fers for the last 5 weeks.
There it is.
Yeah, missing way outside with it.
Now you know why Greg Maddux back in the day started that whole thing with covering his lips, because I think it was Will Clark who was in the on-deck circle, read Maddox's lips and got him. Another slider. That one a little more flat.
Harper in the air to left. Chris Coughlin under it. And the Nationals have stranded 6 base runners today. To the 8th. Cubs still lead 6-3. And brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond, and by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com.
I'm going to say he's going to go rock if they're playing rock, paper, scissors. I mean, he can't do anything else. So I'm going to throw paper against him. And Screech goes scissors. Come on, Screech. What else is he going to do besides rock? Clean it up. Kidding me with that? Let's go.
Beautiful day now. Huge crowd. They've been waiting and waiting to explode over something here. And so far, nothing going on. Danny Espinosa is going to come out here.
Excuse me.
Is he going to left field? Yeah.
How about that? He's an athlete. It's not going to be a problem. So a super utility player all of a sudden, Danny Espinosa, with a smile on his face for the first time, right? I mean, he's never played left field before. Double switch.
So Denard Span is the guy out. As Michael A. Taylor goes to center field. Oh, Escobar back. Rendon back in there. Danny Espinosa might become the super sub all over the place. I have no reason to believe why he can't do it. Ryan Zimmerman made a pretty good transition to left field at times when needed last year.
Well, he can run and he can throw. I want to see him try to throw somebody out the plate. The cannon. This might be the best three arms of any outfield in baseball right now, with Taylor, Harper, and Espinosa all together.
Jansen slider missing inside, 3-1. Dexter Fowler 1 for 4 today. Casey Jansen, second appearance of this series. Friday night he gave the Nats a one-hit scoreless 7th inning, getting things set up for Blake Treinen and Drew Storen.
You know, I know Danny Espinosa doesn't think of himself as a utility player, but if he embraces this role, he can get 400, 450 at-bats by bouncing around, whether it be spelling Yunel Escobar at third, Ian Desmond at short, Anthony Rendon at second, playing left field on occasion against a left-hander. And you know the ball's going to find him here.
Escobar will take care of that for the first out in the 8th inning.
And it's better than sitting next to the skipper, right? So now all of a sudden you're making yourself even more valuable to a ball club. And he's such a good athlete, this shouldn't be a problem at all.
Anthony Rizzo will face Casey Jansen for the first time here. He's had another big day, a walk, a single, a double, 2 runs scored. 8 for 15 in this series. On base 9 times. That big curveball didn't miss by much.
First made the transition in A ball to the outfield, and when you go out there at first, it's kind of exciting. You're seeing the game from a whole different angle than you have before. And then it becomes boring after that, and you have to fight through the part where it's boring, because you're used to talking to umpires, you're used to talking to base runners when you're an infielder, bunt D's, pickoffs at second, and all of a sudden you're standing out there in the outfield, and you're kind of watching the grass grow and thinking a lot about your at-bats, where as an infielder you don't have time to think about your at-bats.
Rizzo with a high fly ball to Taylor in center. Casey Jansen, 2 outs here in the 8th. Chris Bryant next. And that ball hit hard to right. Harper toward the corner. Bryce fighting the sun off his glove at the last second. And heading for third, Bryant throws skipping over there, gets away, and Casey Janssen, as he should, backing up third base. All right, we're going to see how they rule it. Off Bryce's glove. By no means an easy play. Looking back at a bit of an angle, but into the sun here.
I don't know if the sun had something to do with it, or the wall approaching had something to do with it, or just the way the ball was kind of tailing away from Harper. But give Chris Bryant a lot of credit for hustling and turning it into a triple. You see him make the last second adjustment. And just missed it. And then right there, the lob throw in is where Chris Bryant took advantage of it. And I don't know if Bryce's arm is hurt from that swing we showed you earlier or not.
Well, they put a triple up on the board pretty quickly. And here's Montero. So Chris Bryant, a 3-hit day with a walk. Montero 0 for 2 with 2 bases on balls. And the Cubs trying to get this thing to slam range here. The Nats have 6 outs with which to work. Cubs with 13 hits today. Three and one. Infield to pull, outfield slightly the other way.
That's where it's real important for Casey Janssen to hit a spot. He can't just be thinking about throwing a strike here, 3-1. He's got to throw a quality strike to a corner. Like that. So June 26th, 27th, and 28th, the Cubs are at the Cardinals. I'll be real interested to see that series. That's going to be their next real measuring stick. They play the Dodgers at the end of the month too, so they play the Dodgers at home and they go to St. Louis. Those 6 games are going to be interesting.
Line drive right to Tyler Moore. So the Nats keep it a 3-run game. Rendon, Ramos, and Desmond. Late offense needed right now.
For Bryce Harper and send him to the All-Star game. Nats fans help send Bryce, Escobar, whoever he wants. your favorite National to the 2015 Major League All-Star Game. It's in Cincinnati. It's in July. Vote today by going to nationals.com/vote.
This is interesting. 3-run game. Hector Rondon pitching the 8th inning. Pedro Strop got the save yesterday after Rondon came on in the 9th, walked a man, and that was it.
Yeah, fastball 96, slider at 33% of the time at 85. Really a two-pitch guy. Occasional cutter, occasional change. And you see righties hitting 327 against Rondon. And
well, we were told in Chicago last week by some of the people who watch the Cubs every day that they were loving the way that Pedro Strop was throwing the ball, and that this might eventually happen. So a week and a half later, Strop might be their guy for the 9th inning. Rendon, Ramos, and Desmond here. Anthony 0 for 3 today. In the series, 3 for 14 since coming back.
this is Rondon's 25th appearance already this year.
Cubs' 55th game.
That is a lot of appearances this early in the season.
He walked Rendon yesterday, and then Joe Madden right out with the hook in a 4-2 game.
Frustrated he's not getting the pitches that he will be in about a week. Could take a second.
And a 1-2 slider popped up. Jonathan Herrera. Next up, Wilson Ramos, 0 for 3 career against Rondon.
Nat's looking for a spark. This game kind of went flatline, didn't it?
Yeah. Since he and Desmond's homer 6 innings ago, 1 run on 5 hits. And Ramos will sky one to right for Kristen Orfia. So here comes Desmond, 1 for 3 with his 5th home run of the year.
Even if you don't score a run here and you can get a couple base runners on and get back to the top of the order for the 9th, it's kind of what you're looking for. You know, at times it's the game within the game. Get a couple guys on. If you don't score, turn that lineup over and make that save in the 9th inning. A tough, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the order save.
Ian Desmond 0 for 2 career against Rondon. Matt Thornton for the 9th. Kind of frustrating. The Cubs got their go-ahead runs today in the 6th inning when Blake Trinan had retired very quickly the first 2 batters. 5 hitters later, they had 2 runs, and at that time a 4-2 lead. It's a good fastball to the knees, outside edge. The slider hanging up and in a little bit. 87 got the zone. 2-2. Struck him out on a pitch in the dirt. Ian saying he foul tipped it, which the umpire did signal, and then that the ball hit the ground before Montero caught it. So Ian Desmond still alive with help from Gabe Morales at first.
If I'm Joe Madden up by 3, I challenge this no matter what. Why not?
Kerwin Danley did immediately signal the tip, and then Morales asked for help, said it hit the ground before Montero grabbed it.
He said he's 100 feet away from it. He can't see that, is exactly what Joe Maddon said.
Well, why do you ever ask for an appeal then? Well, check swing.
It just, the ball hitting the ground is Joe Maddon's argument here. How can he see that 100+ feet away? I'm on fire reading lips today. It's exactly what he said. There were some other words in there, but it's a family show. So tip, I couldn't see his leg was in the way. This might show it better. Foul tip. Did it hit the dirt? Yeah.
Got it right. And then Desmond pops it up. Throws his bat down in frustration. Kind of how the Nats are feeling right now. Unable to do anything with the Cubs, who lead it 6-3 into the 9th inning. Jordan Zimmerman, and against Chris Coghlan. That was back in the 5th inning. He delivered a 2-run single, just tipping off the mitt of Tyler Moore over there at first base. And that got the Cubs on top 4-2. So summarizing the game, the Nats offense, most of it the Desmond 2-run homer. Yunel Escobar now 3 hits in a game this year, 4 times. Anthony Rizzo just all over the bases in this 4-game set. Here's Matt Thornton to pitch the ninth for the Nats.
And fastball 77% of the time. It's been averaging 94 miles an hour.
Left-handed batter Chris Coghlan. A double earlier in the game before that hit. And he scored a run in the 2nd inning on the flare by Castro to put the Cubs on top initially.
22nd appearance, ERA at 1.93. And check out what the league's hit to get some. 154, lefties 143.
Coghlan 0 for 1 career against Matt. Quite an under-the-radar pickup by Mike Rizzo last year, and Matt has taken that right into 2015.
He's been uneventful, not like Sean Burnett used to be. Remember when he came in 2012, we'd say how boring his outings were? And that's really what you want, right?
Absolutely.
Just very professional, very businesslike. Pound the strike zone, come in, get the job done. Don't want to be noticed.
jammed him. And a fly ball out there. Michael A. Taylor takes care of that. Well, a rare starting time of 4:05 on this Sunday, and now into the 7 o'clock hour. Here on Masson, wrapping up the homestand. The Nats lost 2 out of 3 to Toronto. They're going to have to fight to salvage a split against the Cubs. 7, 8, 9 due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. And to the left side, Desmond circling behind it, and he gave a nice long hop to Tyler Moore there, who picked it very efficiently. 2 down.
P-Nats are back in Woodbridge June 12th through the 14th. Lots of great stuff always going on out there. Go see Lucas Giolito and the bunch. Go to PotomacNationals.com.
By the way, I want to correct something I said last half inning. It was the add-on run by the Cubs in the 6th they got against. The 2 add-on runs against Blake Treinen in the 6th after he'd retired the first 2. Cubs had led 4-3. That made it 6-3. And Jason Mott, with Strop evidently not available today, set to come in for the 9th inning. And he has not saved a game for the Cubs this year. He has 54 big league saves. Great effort by Rendon, and he just got a piece of it. And Kristen Orfia returns to the Cubs and goes 3 for 5 today.
Yeah, nice approach. Been thinking up the middle the other way all day long. Another line drive, foot down early. Takes an inside pitch. And watch Thornton jump with Anthony Rendon. Just out of the reach.
Been that kind of a day. Tyler Moore got a glove on that 2-run drive by Coughlin back in the 5th. Junior Lake hits for the pitcher here. So Rondon pitches a 1-2-3 8th inning. They hit for him here. In this series, Lake 2 for 10 with a walk and a run batted in. Junior Lake career against Matt Thornton 0 for 1. Fastball just missing.
Good pitch. Started it away, kind of cut it back off the outside corner. What did Pitch Track think? Pitch Track's good left and right, east and west. North and south, I'm not sold.
And Thornton takes a little bit off, 83.
And the reason why is there's different heights to hitters, so you have a different strike zone to everybody, north and south. And you get a guy that's 6'5" in there, or a guy that's 5'9". That's going to vary. It's pretty accurate, though. But east and west, inside, outside, it's dead on all the time.
2-2 pitch. Mets have just closed out a win at Arizona. So for the moment, they're tied with the Nats. going to be called on the inside edge. Junior Lake didn't like it. The Cubs strand 11 runners today. They score 6, and the Nats need a big time 9th inning.
Johnny Holiday along with Ray Knight. A good crowd on hand today to watch this finale of the last game of the series, last game between the Cubs and Nationals in the regular season. And Ray, it's been a pretty tough day as Chicago just kept pecking away, and they got themselves a 3-run lead.
Yeah, a lot of good hitters in that lineup. Very patient hitters, don't swing at a lot of bad balls. They're tough to deal with. They pounded out 13 hits so far, some doubles. Zim just didn't quite have his command today. Gave up 10 hits. You don't see that happen very often. And our offense, once again, just not consistent enough.
If I'm not mistaken, Ray, that's the most hits he's given up in any outing this year, 10 hits.
Yeah, he generally gives up maybe 5, 6 hits. I was checking pre-game, and the last 5 games, he's only averaged just a tick over 5 hits a game. So today, just one of those deals where he was throwing the ball well as far as velocity, just didn't locate as well.
This game's not over. We got the bottom of the ninth coming up. Let's send you back upstairs to Live at FP.
All right, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ray. Jason Mott. He's been a guy who's done some stalking around mounds in the 9th inning in his big league career. As mentioned, 54 big league saves, 42 of them 3 years ago for St. Louis.
Pretty good chance you could see a fastball.
Yeah, we've seen him 97, 98, right?
99% of the time.
Wow.
And I think you got to get him in the strike zone. Make him throw strike 1 first until you represent the tie and a go-ahead run.
Tyler Moore facing him for the first time. In there.
Now you go to work.
Mott pitched to just got 1 out in the 7th inning on Thursday night. Struck out Anthony Rendon. And there's that gas up and in, fouled back by Tyler, who's 0 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts around a fly ball.
These are the at-bats you love as a hitter because you know what you're going to get. There's no mystery. It's just about getting your foot down and getting the barrel out front and beating him there, not meeting him there.
Jose Lobaton, not Ryan Zimmerman in the hole. They're the 2 remaining bench guys. And that's well outside, 1 and 2. And by the way, that's for the spot after Danny Espinosa. Unless they switched up straight up. Now, Espinosa's batting first, so it would take a pinch hitter for the 9th spot. So that was a switch of Espinosa at the top of the order for Span. The Nats haven't had a lot of opportunities with runners in scoring position.
I'm telling you, they're missing the 7 pitch at bats that Jason Worth throws up there every day. When they were locked in offensively, it was because Span's going to work you, Escobar's going to work you, Worth's going to work you, Harper's going to make you work. Those are 4 guys you got to really battle to get through.
And that ball in the corner, it hit the rail. Chris Denorfia thought he had a shot at it, and it hit right on top of the rail and went into the seats.
Good effort by Denorfia. Lost the shades at the end. Check it out. Had a beat on it, too. Just a little late getting there.
Two balls, two strikes.
Oh, good effort.
And a foul tip out of the mid of Montero.
And then you throw Rendon into the mix, and now all of a sudden you got some flow to your lineup. And if Ryan Zimmerman locks in, you're talking about having to work hard if you're a starter to get through these guys. And, you know, maybe there's some more free swingers now with Worth out, and guys are trying to press a little bit. But the offense has never had any continuity all season long where you have the same lineup stamped every single day. You know, Denard Span missed some time. Jason Worth finally got healthy. Now he's hurt again. You know, Rendon's just back. And so as an offense, when you get a flow going and you know he's hitting behind me, this is what the team's doing to me because he's hitting behind me every day. They don't have that. It's a different lineup for Matt Williams every day. And it's because of injuries, and you know nobody's going to feel sorry for you. But I'm just telling you, as a former player, when you get a lineup and you know who's hitting in front of you, who's hitting behind you, you get pitched a certain way every day, and you anticipate it. But when you have a different lineup every day, you just don't know.
Next up, Michael A. Taylor, one out in the ninth.
We talk about rhythm a lot in baseball. This team really hasn't gotten into a rhythm offensively because A, they're a swing and miss ball club. They're a home run hitting ball club. And B, Matt Williams hasn't had a chance to really, you know, go Span, Rendon, Worth, Harper, Escobar, Zimmerman, you know, whoever on a daily basis because they just haven't been there. But you still got to find a way.
Michael A. Taylor swinging a foul tip. 0 for 3 today. Jose Lobaton will be next. Good rip by Michael. So right now, virtual tie. Mets one more win, one more loss than the Nats. They win 6-3 at Arizona.
He's not giving up.
Still got some energy.
That's the same little rugrat from a couple weeks ago that was just running in circles for 4 hours. And he finally crashed in his mom's lap. He is nowhere near done yet today.
Summer is just starting for him. And a 1-2. Taylor out to right. Denorfia. Nets extra with Johnny and Ray here at the ballpark. And with one more out, this would turn into a 2-5 home stand. Jose Lobaton against Jason Mott for the first time. .98.
That's fun. Wow. Sit around for 3 hours, come off the bench and see 98 right down the middle.
To the Nats catcher, pinch hitting here, and that's outside. Max Scherzer. If this one doesn't change, the role of stopper Tuesday night.
still got the rally lids on.
And Lobaton takes a close one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If it gets to Bryce Harper, which is a ways away, Zach Ross cut. Jose Lobaton hanging in tough here. Danny Espinosa on deck in the leadoff spot. (6-3) Cubs. That's down to their final strike here. And Lobaton will hit it out to center. Dexter Fowler is there. The Cubs take 3 out of 4, and the Nats have lost 8 of their last 10 games. 4-3, the season series goes to Chicago. So this matches the largest difference in any game. 3 runs between these two clubs in the 7-game series. 3 hours and 13 minutes. We will join you again Tuesday night from Yankee Stadium when the Nats face the Yankees. This has been a presentation of Masson. Stay tuned now. Johnny and Ray here at the ballpark to try to figure out how to get this thing going and recap all the action from today and the series from the booth. So long for just a while.